Orale, Cholo Trucker Wrestling. We have shouts to all the junkies out there. And oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. They are bringing back Saturday night's main event. Oh, man. If you guys don't know about Saturday night's main event, just sit back and let Papa Cholo Trucker tell you about Saturday night's main event, Holmes. Saturday night's main event was somewhat of a pay-per-view without being a pay-per-view. Okay, back when there were pay-per-views, now they're PLEs, premium live events. Um, once upon a time in wrestling, once upon a time, kiddies, in wrestling, all you got to see was the main stars wrestle against nothing but the local jobbers. Now, when I say the local jobbers, you didn't know who they were. Okay, you just had some dude who was like, shoot, I don't know, uh, 5'9", probably weighed no more than like a buck 60, a buck 70. You know what I mean? His name was probably like, John Smith. Nobody knew who the dude was. Nobody knew who these jobbers were. Okay. I'm not talking about jobbers of today. Okay. I'm talking about you really literally had no idea who these guys were. And basically, they were just in there just to get their asses kicked. I mean, it was. It was a different time, man. You would have the main stars, with the exception of somebody like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan would never be on there. Hulk Hogan, you would have to see on the pay-per-views, but uh, um, it was a different time because the wrestlers, the main wrestlers, the main characters would just go in there, slaughter these dudes. I mean, just slaughter them, hit their main maneuver, and that was it. And that was all you got. And you waited all week. You waited all week to see that. There was no, DVR. There was no rewind on your TV. There was no any of that stuff. Okay, you waited all week just to see some at that time WWF stars go in there against complete nobodies, dudes that they were completely outmatched, and just beat the dog doodles out of them and walk out. Like it wasn't even a challenge, not even close, right? But you waited all week to see that. The time that you would actually see um, the superstars face one another was either on pay-per-views, okay, or on Saturday night's main event. Oh man, Saturday night's main event. For people that didn't grow up with a lot of money, they really look forward to Saturday night's main event, right? Because you weren't gonna have your parents buy the pay-per-views for you. And it's like, what the heck? I'm not wasting money so you could watch wrestling. What are you, crazy kid? Hey, Holmes, when you looked at the TV guide, oh yes, the little book, TV guide, and you saw Saturday night's main event, oh man, you marked it. It's like, yes, yes, I'm not missing it. Again, there was no DVR, there wasn't any of that. If you needed to go take a piss, you would hold it until a commercial break. Then you run in there, do what you got to do, and run back. Make sure you don't miss a second of it. Oh, Saturday night's main event. Oh man, it was the best. It really was. Now, I know I know they brought it back quite a few years ago. I don't remember how many years ago. It's been a minute already. The main event on that Saturday night's main event, I forgot what WrestleMania it was, but it was a WrestleMania where John Cena was facing Triple H. And the other main event was Randy Orton. It was a triple threat match. It was Randy Orton versus Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio. It was a triple threat match. So what they did for Saturday night's main event, the main event, it was a tag team match. They had John Cena teaming up with Triple H, because they were gonna face one another at WrestleMania, so they had them as a tag team, and then they had the guys that were gonna be in the triple threat match at WrestleMania. They had them tag up with each other, and it was 3-on-2. So it was Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Kurt Angle against John Cena and Triple H. But it didn't really go anywhere after that. I think they tried it a few times. I'm not really sure. Look, am I excited for Saturday night's main event? Yes, I am. The reason why is just the kid in me. You know what I mean? It's just the nostalgia. That's really it. But if I'm gonna be real with you guys, because what Monday Night Raw and what SmackDown has turned into now, not just barely. I mean, it's been a long time already. Okay, it's been a long time since wrestling moved away from just bringing in some local jobbers that nobody knew, just so the talent could just beat them down. It's been a long time already. And now I just kind of think, man, it's like, okay, well, what can you do special for Saturday night's main event? Because that's kind of what made it special. The fact that you got to see matches that you wouldn't see unless you'd watch pay-per-view. You wouldn't see these matches, these matchups. So with Monday Night Raw and with SmackDown, you already see these matches. And these matches, instead of the matches being a big deal, now it's the storyline. It's the whole novella that they have to build storylines for you to be interested. Because in all reality, a lot of these matches, we've already seen them. We've already seen a lot of these matches. It may have been a year, may have been 2 years, but we've already seen a lot of these matches. They're just kind of recycling some of the same matches. It's just the storyline that changes. So while I am excited because the little kid in me is like, heck yeah, man, Saturday night's main event, in all reality, I'm not really sure what they can do. I think depending on how many times they're going to do it, obviously you can't do it all the time. And even back then, you didn't get Saturday night's main event every Saturday. I couldn't even tell you when they did it. It seemed probably like once every 2 or 3 months, maybe even less. That's why you look forward to it so damn much. So if they're going to do it, I mean, it's got to be, far and few in between. But like I said, I'm excited, yes, just so I could kind of relive Saturday night's main event. But what Raw and what SmackDown already provides, I'm not really sure what else you can do with Saturday night's main event. We already see these matchups. Unless you have Raw guys versus SmackDown. You can do that just to make it different. You're not really doing that with Survivor Series anymore. Now you threw in the War Games. So you're not really having, Raw versus SmackDown. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Raw versus SmackDown. You don't have to, throw that out there like that. But you could just have Monday Night Raw guys versus Friday Night SmackDown guys. It doesn't have to be a chart like, oh, who's winning, Raw or SmackDown? No, but just do it because those are matches that you don't really get to see too much. I would say do that if you're going to keep on going with Saturday night's main event. Obviously, you're not going to do it every Saturday. So, yes, Cool. I'm excited that Saturday night's main event is back at the same time with Raw and SmackDown. It's not really needed. However, I will say this. I will say this. It will be cool to watch some wrestling on Saturday night. I will say that. Just the fact, like, hey, it's Saturday night. Let's get some pizza or something. Let's grill up some carne asada, homie. Let's make some tacos or whatever, homes, and let's watch some Saturday night's main event. I would say for that, that'd be cool. But I wanted to succeed, obviously, but just for the reasons that I gave, like I said, I'm excited. I'm not against this. And I don't want to throw a bucket of ice on anybody's, burning hot fire. But I'm just saying, because what Raw and what SmackDown already gives us, they're really going to need to get creative here. But they can't get too creative, depending on how many times they're going to do Saturday night's main event. They can't get too creative. That's going to be taken away from their PLEs, since PLEs is pretty much every single month. So Saturday night's main event will be in December in New York. So you guys excited? I am. And even if they just do this like once a year, once every, 2 times a year, cool, so be it. But, maybe if they have a month that doesn't have a PLE and they do a Saturday night's main event, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Just saying it, Saturday night's main event. Oh man, I feel it, man. I do. Anyway, I just want to go ahead and throw that out there. I am excited, and hopefully this lives on. I hope this lives on. So, how do you guys feel about Saturday night's main event? You guys cool with it? You guys down with it? It's on NBC Peacock. So we can all go ahead and check it out. Saturday night's main event. I'm down with it, man. I'm down with it. Hopefully it's a success, man. What's your guys' thoughts? Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shouts to all the junkies. Catch you guys on next one.